This podcast is systematic. It's hydromatic. It's ultramatic. It's grease lightning. Welcome to Island Decree.
Hello, hello.
Which reminds me, I was playing D&D the other day.
Mm-hmm.
And a friend of ours had both the spell grease and a spell that shot lightning.
That's impressive. That's impressive.
I made a lot of those jokes that evening.
I'm sure you did.
So, hi.
Hello.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
It's spoiler season.
It's spoiler season.
Woo! And we're only like a third through it.
Yeah, it's awesome. I love this. Next month is when the pre-release happens.
I'm very excited. April 2nd.
Yes. But I don't even know what I'm going to play yet.
Oh, no. Not yet. But I will be playing in the pre-release.
Yeah.
Anyway, so, Shadows over Innistrad.
Yes. Had one of the coolest announcement trailers we've had for a while.
Uh-huh. If you haven't seen it, go and watch it right now.
There is a teaser and an announcement trailer, both of which are awesome.
I enjoyed both of them.
And we have some spoilers. Lots of
We
spoilers,
do.
actually.
We do have a lot of spoilers that were spoiled in a very interesting way at the GPs.
A lot of them were actually spoiled in the dual deck as well.
Yeah, yeah.
The new dual decks are actually pretty awesome. If you haven't seen them yet, viewers, it's Curse versus Blessed. And if you're looking for Geist of Saint Traft, he is the promo card in Blessed.
Yeah.
And he's also really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. But that's
I hear that these dual decks are like some of the most balanced.
They are. I was playtesting them with Rocky a couple days ago.
Uh-huh.
And they're really good. They're really well balanced. They're also really fast.
Interesting. I wonder if SOI is going to be a much faster format.
As long as I assume it'll be like as fast as original Innistrad was.
Yeah. Alright, so...
Yeah, so let's get into some spoilers here.
Let's jump right in.
So we have some white cards.
We do.
One of them is Archangel Avacyn.
One of them, well, part of one of them.
Yes.
So, for those of you who haven't seen the spoiler, Archangel
What's wrong
Avacyn,
with you?
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously. Archangel Avacyn is a 4/4 angel for 3 generic and 2 white, with flash, flying, and vigilance, you know.
Standard Angel.
You know. When Archangel Avacyn enters the battlefield, creatures you control gain indestructible until end of turn. So that's a pretty cool combat trick.
Yeah.
And when a non-angel creature you control dies, transform Archangel Avacyn at the beginning of the next upkeep.
I love upsteps.
You may be wondering, Avacyn, she's pretty cool. She's, protecting humans. What could she turn into?
Well, when she goes on her period, she becomes Avacyn the Purifier.
Yeah. And kills everything.
Basically.
When this creature transforms into Avacyn the Purifier, deals 3 damage to each other creature and each opponent, including your creatures. Yay. Everything's dead.
You know what this is going into?
My
My white-red burn deck.
That makes sense.
So basically, because of how that works in my white-red burn deck, it has potential to deal 24 damage when it flips to everything.
That's impressive.
Oh, but only 4 damage to all my creatures.
That makes sense.
Yes, so that card is just bonkers.
It's very cool.
Looking at other white cards, I really, really like Eerie Interlude.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically Cloud Shift for 3, but you Cloud Shift anything you want.
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
Because, like, it can stop removal from happening to something you enjoy. It can trigger ETB effects. It's really cool.
Yep.
Also, looking at these white cards, there's a new mechanic that I sort of enjoy. I'm curious to see how it plays. But I think the investigate mechanic is really interesting.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how it'll play yet, but I do like drawing cards.
I do like drawing cards, yeah. Among the white cards, it's not really, like, the coolest white card out there, from just a card standpoint, but Declaration in Stone. It's a sorcery for 1 generic and 1 white. Exile target creature and all other creatures its controller controls with the same name as that creature. That player investigates for each non-token creature exiled in this way. So 1, it's straight up removal in white, which is, not the most common thing.
Exile for 2.
Yeah, and the part that was cool to me was the flavor text, which reads, "The message was clear to Soren. Nahiri had paid Markov Manor a visit." Which, if you haven't been keeping up with everyone who's, fangirling over the spoilers, means that somehow Soren pissed off Nahiri, and there's a lot of ways people think he could have done that, and she's coming back to get revenge. She's not happy.
Now, I haven't been up on Nahiri recently. Is she still a Planeswalker?
Yes. So, the few theories that people have are, 1, Nahiri's from Zendikar, and so she could be pissed that Soren was like, "Hey, why don't we just trap the Eldrazi on Zendikar?" And so she's like, "Oh yeah? Well, screw your plane too." Or, because while Nahiri was, in hibernation, Soren went to Zendikar to make sure that the Eldrazi were still trapped there, and, as a vampire, had to feed, which created all of the vampires on Zendikar, who were not native, and so it's possible that Nahiri woke up and was like, what? Why are all the vampires here? And then got super pissed and was like, you know what? Fuck your vampires. So those are the 2 big theories going around. I kind of like the second one, personally.
Yeah.
There's also, along with the first theory, if you look at the card Throbbing Inspector, you'll see him holding kind of a tangly mesh of flesh, which is leading people to believe that Emrakul was brought by Nahiri to Innistrad as revenge for trapping them all on Zendikar. So basically, people are thinking either Nahiri got pissed about having the Eldrazi at her house, so she brought them to Innistrad, or
you take these back.
Yep. Or she's mad about the vampires.
Yeah.
Those are the 2 big theories going on right now. It could be one of them. It could be none of them. We don't know. We're waiting for confirmation on those.
For those of you that are wondering why I asked if Nahiri was still alive and a Planeswalker and all that, is because she's from a set. Her most recent printing was in Commander 2014.
Mm-hmm.
Where she was one of the 5 Planeswalkers commanders.
Yeah.
And the other 4 are all dead or not a Planeswalker.
Uh-huh.
Because Teferi is dead.
Yeah.
Obnixilis is a demon and no longer a Planeswalker.
Correct.
Duretti sacrificed his spark. And I think Freyalise died.
I'm pretty sure.
But Nahiri, I think, was just fine, but then something happened to her for a while.
She went into hibernation. She, because when she was a Planeswalker, Planeswalkers were immortal. She pretty much, lived on Zendikar and watched all of her friends, grow old and die, and then got really depressed and was like, you know what, this sucks, so I'm just gonna leave society. So she went into hibernation at the Plains core to just...
Get it? Because core?
Yeah. And she just, like, kind of, like, slept there, like, making sure that if the Eldrazi awoke, that they would wake her up too. And then when they did, she woke up and was like, what? So yeah, she's still alive. She's still a planeswalker.
Eldrazi alarm clock is best alarm clock.
Pretty much.
Oh, and in case you're wondering, we sort of have theories on planeswalkers in this set.
Mm-hmm.
So we imagine that Sorin is back because Innistrad is his place.
Yeah, that's home.
We imagine Nahiri is back because
she's straight. Yeah, she's pretty pissed.
We imagine Jace is back because he's the one who's talking over the trailer.
This is true.
Also, if they go like 2 sets without printing Jace, people start having a conniption fit.
Basically.
We imagine Liliana is back because it's Innistrad's like her vacation home.
Yeah, pretty much.
And I imagine Garruk and Liliana are going to reach a boiling point here.
I disagree with that. I don't think Garruk is coming back right now. Mostly because Wildspeaker is supposedly like a mindless planeswalker killing thing. So,
well, here's the thing.
I think
he's not mindless. It's just that he's hunting planeswalkers, like relentlessly hunting all planeswalkers.
Yeah,
and with 4 of them on Innistrad.
But here's my... I think, because she's been spoiled, I'm assuming the 5th Planeswalker is Arlene Cord.
Yeah, okay. Well, I mean, we've had less than and more than 4 before.
Yeah, so I'm thinking either Garruk is going to be not printed in this set, or printed in the next one.
Yeah, I was thinking the next set as well.
But I think I know Arlene Cord is going to be printed somewhere in Shadows over Innistrad, or it's the second one, which is called Moon over something.
If you're wondering who Arlene Cord is, Nick, could you explain? Because we haven't talked about that.
I can. Personally, as somebody who is a fan of the werewolf cards, this spoiler made me cry a little bit. Arlene Cord is a new planeswalker who grew up in Averbrook. For those of you who don't know, that is one of the old towns in original Innistrad that was taken over by werewolves and then called Hollowhenge. So Arlene Cord grew up in Averbrook, was turned into a werewolf when the werewolves took over, but denied her curse, and so was looking for ways to prevent herself from transforming. She ended up joining the church and then studying magic with them, reaching a high level in the Church of Avacyn. Eventually, she was unable to control her transformations and killed a whole bunch of Cathars. In her grief and rage, during while being a werewolf, her spark ignited, and she was transported to an unnamed plane. While on that plane, she kind of fizzled off her rage, and then realized she couldn't turn back into a human, but she could go walk between the planes. While on Innistrad, she has full capability to switch back and forth between a human and a werewolf whenever she pleases. And currently, if you follow the lore, she is the leader of the largest werewolf pack on Innistrad, who believes that something evil is coming. She doesn't know what, but something evil is coming, and she thinks the werewolves are the only things that can prevent it.
Maybe it's Emrakul.
Maybe it's Emrakul.
So looking back at the spoilers, that's awesome, by the way, that we're gonna probably get a werewolf planeswalker.
Mm-hmm.
Possibly the first flip planeswalker since Garruk.
Possibly. I'm not sure how the flip is going to work, if it's going to be similar to Garruk, or if it's going to be more similar to the Magic Origins planeswalkers.
I'm gonna imagine, since she's a planeswalker in both states, it'll be more like Garruk's.
I imagine so. I'm wondering if you'll be able to switch between the two.
Yeah.
If you'll be able to switch between her as a werewolf and her as a person, I think that would be super cool.
Maybe like as a 0 loyalty cost ability.
Ooh, that's possible. That'd be cool.
Yeah. Looking back at the cards that have been spoiled, by the way, we have no idea what this new Planeswalker does.
Yeah, the card hasn't been spoiled at all, just her name and kind of her backstory.
Two others in white that I find really cool. Pious Evangel.
Mm-hmm.
He's awesome. He's a life gain thing that flips into a life drain thing.
Yeah, it's super cool.
And then Topplegeist is neat.
Cobblegeist is cool, yeah. He just, like, floats around knocking shit over.
Now moving on to blue.
Oh, wait, I have
what's
one
up?
more thing to talk about in white. Avacyn Missionaries and Lunarch Inquisitors. They're not, like, the coolest, like, white card. But again, coming from a flavor standpoint, so Avacyn Missionaries are a 3/3 for 3 generic and a white, with the ability at the beginning of your end step, if Avacyn Missionaries is equipped, transform it. It transforms into Lunarch Inquisitors, which is a 4/4, and when this creature transforms into Lunarch Inquisitors, you may exile another target creature until Lunarch Inquisitors leaves the battlefield. So basically what happens is the church is getting fucking militant. The flavor text on Avacinian Missionaries is, we come bearing the word of Avacyn and the Lunarch Council. And the Lunarch Inquisitors flavor text is, we come bearing the tools of confession and absolution. Basically, they're going from, we're peacefully being nice and trying to get you to convert, to, you're gonna fucking convert. Or you're gonna go away.
It's Crusade.
Which is pretty much, it is basically like the Abyssinian Crusade. And it's interesting too because they have that exile ability, which like really plays into it. So I don't know if they're going to be like the most played card or if they're even that great, but I think it's pretty cool. But okay, moving on to blue.
So we have a follow-up to a card from original in a Strud block.
This is true.
Which is Delver of Secrets, being followed up with Aberrant Researcher, and his flip form, which is
Perfected form.
Which is real neat.
It's super cool. So Aberrant Researcher is a 3/2 for 3 generic and a blue with flying. It's a human insect. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may put the top card of your library into your graveyard. If it's an instant or sorcery card, transform Aberrant Researcher. It transforms into a 5/4 with flying, insect horror. Horror is actually is kind of a interesting thing to note about it.
Relevant creature type.
Yeah, thank you. And so I mean, it's not as good as Delver of Secrets, but it's very interesting that they kind of nodded to Delver.
And then moving on to Thing in the Ice.
This is possibly my favorite blue card in this whole set so far.
It's a 0/4 for 1 generic and blue, so it's Kraken Hatchling.
Mm-hmm.
It's Defender. So, Thing in the Ice enters the battlefield with 4 ice counters on it. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, remove 1. When the last one's removed, flip it. It turns into Awoken Horror, which is a Kraken Horror.
Yeah.
When it transforms, just, return all non-horror creatures to their owner's hand.
Yeah, basically. And Phil, what's the power and toughness on Awoken Horror?
Also it's a 7/8.
So what you're telling me, Philip, is that I can play a creature for 2, play 4 instant or sorcery cards, which blue has a bunch of, and then I get a 7/8?
That's exactly what I'm telling you, Nick.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Wow.
Like, what I'm gonna do... I'm gonna take this card. I'm gonna put it in my blue deck with its best friend from original Nistrad, Ludwig's Abomination.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm gonna cast this and be like, okay, brainstorm,
Yeah.
and then just try to draw into 3 more cheap instant or sorceries,
Yeah.
and flip it the turn it comes out.
Turn 3, they play something. Oh, just kidding. Counter whatever you're playing. Oh, look. Now I flip my Awoken Horror and attack with it. Get wrecked. Oh, Jesus.
I also really, really like compelling deterrence.
Mm-hmm.
It's an instant for 1 in the blue. Return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. If you control a zombie, they discard a card.
Mm-hmm.
Which is nice, especially if they have no cards in hand.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Also, Geralf's Masterpiece is really interesting.
Yeah.
It's a 7/7 for 5, 3 and 2 blue.
Mm-hmm.
Flying, it gets -1/-1 for each card in your hand. But you
Yeah.
can pay 3 and a blue to discard 3 cards and then return it from their graveyard to the battlefield.
Which is pretty sick.
Also, in this set, it seems like graveyard and not having cards in hand is a theme.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure Madness and Delirium are
Yeah.
the 2 new keywords, as well as Skulk. Madness being if you discard the card, you can discard it into exile. Then from exile, you can either play it for its madness cost, or you can put it in your graveyard. And usually the madness costs are cheaper.
Yes.
Delirium is if you have 4 or more card types in your graveyard, then it gets added bonus effects.
And it's really neat. Both of
It's
those
pretty
abilities.
cool.
Looking at more... See, Insidious Mist... I like it, but I'm not sure if I want to commit 4 mana and a card to it every turn.
Yeah, I think it's cool just because it's like a creature you pretty much can't destroy. It doesn't die to removal.
Well,
which I think is cool.
Until you flip it back to...
But, it's always kind of a drawback of, do I want an destroyable 4/4 or nah?
Yeah.
One that I like, just because it's another throwback to original Innistrad, is Just the Wind. It's a throwback to the card Bump in the Night, where the flavor text was, it's not just the wind.
There's nothing to worry about.
And I think that's pretty cool.
There's
I like
nothing
that.
to worry about.
Nope.
Also, this is significantly better than Bump in the Night.
Yes, this is true.
And I assume we won't be sending 5,000 of these to Loading Ready Run.
I assume.
Although that'd be kind of funny.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I actually really like Just the Wind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I don't really like Invasive Surgery, to be honest with you.
Yeah, neither do I. I mean...
Counter target sorcery spell, just kind of...
Yeah, it is a 1-drop, so it's not gonna hit everything. I mean, if you think about it, Negate is non-creature spell,
Yeah.
and that's a 2-drop. So this is kind of narrowing it down a little bit more for a 1-drop.
Counterspell was also 2 blue.
Yeah, but Counterspell was stupid.
I don't know, there are better things to do with your... From an Eternal format perspective, don't run this.
Yeah, probably not in Eternal formats, but I can see it being played in Limited.
Yeah. I also think that Pieces of the Puzzle is really neat.
Mm-hmm.
As well as Pour Over the Pages.
Yeah. It's interesting to note both books in those are Tamio's journal.
Yes, which is also cool, we'll get to in a second.
Yeah.
Moving on to black. Anything else you want to talk about in blue?
I don't think so.
Okay, they reprinted Deadweight.
They did reprint Deadweight. Super cool.
I've actually said before, the only way I'll get back into standards if they reprint Deadweight. Never thinking they'll actually do it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, they actually did reprint Deadweight.
It's kind of like all those it's kind of like all those couples that were like, oh, if gay marriage ever gets like legalized, we're getting a divorce. And like now that gay marriage is legalized in the United States, like now everyone's kind of like, so when you getting divorced? Now I'm looking at you and I'm like, so when you getting into standard?
Where do you live? That's a common thing.
No, it's on the internet. It's not.
Okay.
It's not me. It's not like places like not people in California. Are you kidding? People here are so liberal.
Well, no, I was like, when you went to church, did you hear people say that?
Oh yeah, every once in a while. My favorite black card out of this, it's not the best black card. It's Tooth Collector.
Yeah. He's neat.
Why? Because it's freaking awesome. It's a 3/2 for 2 generic and a black. When it enters the battlefield, target creature opponent controls get -1/-1 until end of turn. So you're either killing something with 1 toughness or you're nerfing one of their like bigger creatures. Now, it also has Delirium. At the beginning of each opponent's upkeep, if there are 4 or more card types among cards in your graveyard, target creature that opponent controls gets -1/-1 until end of turn. Every turn, which is cool. Also, because, like, the flavor text of it, so, like, when he comes in the field, he, like, pulls someone's tooth, right? He's like, alright, I'm just gonna take that. Then he goes crazy, and he's just like, I'm gonna keep just taking teeth from people. And I think that's, like, a sick card design.
Yeah. But I just want to talk about why I love Deadweight so much.
Mm-hmm.
So first of all, yes, I'm putting 4 of in standard.
Obviously.
So first of all, it's a debuff, which is nice.
Yeah.
It's also removal.
Uh-huh.
And it's -2/-2 for 1 black mana.
Mm-hmm.
We have a friend who runs a super annoying Dimir deck.
Uh-huh.
And this is part of it, and I've fallen in love with Deadweight. It's one of my favorite cards ever.
It's very good. Shambleback is another cool one. It's 1 black for a sorcery, exile target creature card from graveyard, put a 2/2 black zombie creature token onto the battlefield. You gain 2 life.
It's just a straight better version of something else that did this minus the 2 life.
Yeah, pretty much. So it's better.
Speaking of zombies, Relentless Dead.
Relentless Dead.
2/2 menace for 2.
Okay.
Black. Whenever it dies, you may pay black. If you do, just return it to its owner's hand. It's pretty neat.
Cool.
Whenever it dies, you may pay X. If you do, return target zombie creature card with converted mana cost X from your graveyard to the battlefield.
Oh yeah. Now Philip.
Yes.
I'm not a judge here. So, well, neither of us are judges here, but one of us is reading the rules.
I'm actually taking my judge test 2 months from now? Yeah, something like that.
Sweet. So, can you do both of these abilities at the same time?
Yes, you can.
Oh, wow. So you're saying whenever it dies, I can get it back to my hand and another zombie onto the battlefield?
Yes, you can.
What the fuck?
I am building a blue-black zombie commander deck after this block is over.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy is going to wreck house.
Yeah, basically.
I was looking at the dual deck lists earlier.
Uh-huh.
And some of the cards they put in are from original Innistrad block.
That's sweet.
And I'm wondering if some of those are going to be reprinted.
I feel like they may be.
2 examples that I really want to be back
Mm-hmm.
are Unbreathing Horde.
Uh-huh.
Which is a...
I have it right here. Unbreathing Horde enters the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on it for each zombie you control and each zombie in your graveyard. If Unbreathing Horde would be dealt damage, prevent that damage and remove a +1/+1 counter from it. Cool.
You know, not a plus and plus one counter equal to the amount of damage it takes.
No, just one.
Just one.
Cool.
That thing is a bomb, and I love it.
It's insane.
And another card I really want to be reprinted is Doom Traveler.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 1/1 for 1. When it dies, you get a 1/1 spirit token with flying. So hopefully those will be announced as reprints, because I love both of those cards.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. Moving to red.
It looks like Devil Tribal's a thing.
Devil Tribal's a thing.
We have...
So are angels.
Yes. I love how most angels end up becoming red.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Avacyn is now, Gisela is, Achroma's been.
Mm-hmm. Which signals that they're done protecting humanity and they're just out to blow shit up.
Yeah.
Which is pretty freaking cool.
Yeah, it's scary. Looking at some of the cards here, Dance with the Devils and Devil's Playground both just throw devil tokens onto the field, and whenever they die, they deal 1 damage to target creature or player.
Yep.
I'm not sure I like the costs on a lot of these.
Yeah.
They're Goblin Arsonists, basically.
Basically.
Looking at some cards, some of these I'm not too big a fan of. There's a Madness Bolt. There's a Madness Lightning Bolt.
Yep. Lightning Axe.
No, Firing Temper.
Firing Temper. Yeah.
It deals 3 damage to target creature player for 1 red, but a Madness cost of red.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a conditional Lightning Bolt.
Basically.
But then there's Lightning Axe.
Let me
talk to you for a second about Lightning Axe.
Yes, Phil.
So it casts for 1 red. It's an instant.
Yeah.
As an additional cost, you can either discard a card or pay 5. It deals 5 damage to target creature. Now, the thing about this is you're always going to pick the first cost.
Yeah.
Because paying 6 mana for 5 damage to just a creature is really bad.
Oh, it's terrible.
But paying this, discarding a card, triggering Madness on that card, and say, I don't know, do 8 damage to something because you discard Fiery Temper?
Yeah. Or even, kill their 5/6 or something and then hit them for 3.
Or their 6/5, rather.
Whatever. Oh, yeah, sorry. 6/5. But it seems decent.
I love this thing, especially in this format. It's not right for every deck. It's not right for just a generic burn deck most of the time.
Mm-mm.
But I love this thing.
Oh, yes.
Magmatic Chasm's been a thing for a while.
Mm-hmm.
What do we think of Structural Distortion?
Okay. I think it's a really cool card. Obviously, it's a delay strategy since you're messing with their land and hitting them for damage.
Or artifacts.
Or artifacts, I guess. Which I guess there's a few pretty good ones that have been spoiled. The thing that really interests me about this card is the flavor text, which is, as Zendikar has bled, so will Innistrad. As I have suffered, so will Sorin.
Is Sorin going to get into a scrap?
Oh, I mean, Sorin was already going to get into a scrap. But let me ask you this, Phil: which large Lovecraftian monsters usually are seen with distortion? Huh.
That's either Saprolings, or Eldrazi. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'm torn.
Yeah, and let's see. What destroyed Zendikar?
Well, I wouldn't say destroyed, but yeah, Eldrazi.
Okay, yeah. Hey, what damaged Zendikar?
Eldrazi.
Oh, really? Huh. Weird. Going back to our few theories, maybe, just maybe, Emrakul is on Innistrad and brought there by Nahiri.
So here's my thing. I was thinking about this. So Emrakul might
Yeah.
be on Innistrad. Kozilek is still on Zendikar, correct?
Yes.
Um,
And I believe so is Ulamog.
Ulamog. Is Ulamog for sure there?
I'm pretty sure.
Because if not, there's potential we could get an Eldrazi dipped in Phyrexian oil.
I didn't even think of that.
Like,
And now
I've been
I'm
theorizing.
actually scared.
Think about this. We have a new set where we go back to Phyrexia. We get an Eldrazi dipped in Phyrexian oil.
Well, Phyrexia's gone.
Well, yeah,
It'd be
but
new Phyrexia.
yeah, that's go back to new Phyrexia,
Yeah.
or we call it the newest Phyrexia would be the set.
I guess, yeah.
I mean, it's still basically Phyrexia, it's just the new one.
Yeah.
They moved.
They moved and fucked everything up in their home, and then just kind of like, cool, this is our place now.
Because, think about how that works. So, for those of you that aren't aware of the lore of this, Phyrexian oil once got into Karn,
Oh dear God, poor Karn.
which basically made him insanely powerful, but also super evil.
Mm-hmm.
So much, in fact, that the only way to save him was by Venser killing himself.
Yep.
So if that gets into an Eldrazi,
That would be bad.
I really want there to be a new Phyrexia set, just so it could be like the newest Phyrexia, even the
That would
newer
be-
Phyrexia.
That would be very funny. It'd be interesting to see what happened to the Praetors.
Yeah, I'm really curious, because those are cool.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Red's been a little lackluster in spoiler season so far, but I
Yeah.
think we'll be getting things.
I think so too.
Like, a lot of these cards, I'm like, these are just functional reprints of things that we've had for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Like Ravenous Bloodseeker, yay.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, we'll move on to green now.
Incorrigible Youths is pretty
Yeah,
cool.
the vampires.
Mm-hmm. They're a 4/3 for 3 generic and 2 red, with haste and madness. Their madness cost is 2 generic and a red. So theoretically, you could pay 4 for your 5 damage and discard Incorrigible Youths, then pay the madness cost. And bam, we got a 4/3 with haste.
So Nick,
So Phil.
I think there might be a full moon on Innistrad tonight.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, tell me, what color is that really good for?
Green.
Would you care to tell me why?
Werewolves. And I want to talk about all of them,
Yes.
starting with Hunterland Logger. So Hunterland Logger is the new 2-drop werewolf. It's a 2/1 for 1 and a green. At the beginning of your upkeep, if no spells were cast last turn, transform Hunterland Logger.
Okay, so it's a piker.
Yeah, transform into Timber Shredder, which is a 4/2 with Trample. At the beginning of each upkeep, if a player casts 2 or more spells last turn, transform Timber Shredder. Cool.
Oh,
My
also it's a common.
Also, this is a common. So theoretically, turn 3 at 4/2 with Trample. Not bad.
I'm just thinking, like, in draft, you pick up, like, 2 or 3 of these guys.
Oh yeah, and then you win. My favorite thing about a lot of these cards is the flavor text, because it makes it really cool. But this one I think is my favorite, just because it's like a big slap in the face. So the flavor text on Hunterland Logger is there's a forester who lives up in the Highlands, tried to sell her one of my finest axes at a bargain, but she wasn't interested. Then Timber Shredder is, she even had the audacity to criticize my wares as inferior to her own fucking hands. She just punches trees down. How sweet is that? She's just like, oh, this axe, wham! Oh, don't even need it.
I mean, Surok punches bears down.
This is true, but bears are not trees.
Which is harder to punch?
I feel like knocking bears down would be easier, but punching trees would be easier, because they don't move. Soul Swallower is another...
I was about to talk about that.
I'll let you talk about it, and I'll stick with my werewolves.
So, it's a 3/3 for 4 with trample.
Yeah, not bad.
But it's like, a 3/3, what's that going to trample over? Oh wait, there's text. At the beginning of your upkeep, if there are 4 or more card types among cards in your graveyard, put 3 +1/+1 counters on it. Every damn one of your upkeeps.
Yeah, every single one. So, you play it down on 4, you probably have stuff in your graveyard by now. So maybe by 5 it's a 6/6, maybe by turn 6 it's a 6/6, then by turn 7 it's a 9/9, then by turn 8, it's a 12/12. Jesus Christ.
In a set like this, where you have a bunch of controlled discard...
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Hey, why don't you talk about, the other werewolf that's relevant?
I'm just about to. Would you be talking about the Duskwatch Recruiter?
I would be.
Because that's what I'm talking about. Duskwatch Recruiter is a 2/2 for 1 and a green, with the ability for 2 generic and a green. Look at the top 3 cards of your library. You may reveal a creature card from among them and put them into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. Then if beginning of your upkeep, if no spells were cast last turn, transform. Which, pretty cool. But what does it transform into, I wonder? Let me pull it up so I can better read this to you. Transform into a 3/3, and guess what this 3/3 does, Phil?
Oh boy.
Creature spells you cast cost 1 generic less. So that creature spell you just tutored up. Yep, that's it's gonna cost 1 less.
For example, Soul Swallower is now a 3-drop.
Whoa, cool. So, you will see me again with my werewolf deck.
You know what card needs to come back? Probably won't, but needs to. Moon Mist.
Oh yeah.
Moon Mist, for those unfamiliar, is a instant for 1 in the green. Flip all werewolf cards.
Mm-hmm.
Flip all werewolf cards that are humans.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't flip back your werewolves originally.
Yeah.
Oh, and also prevent all combat damage done by non-wolf or werewolf creatures this turn.
Yep.
I had a standard deck. The last time I played standard was Innistrad block. At the very end of it. Where it was werewolves, green, red werewolves.
Mm-hmm.
And good lord, that thing is insane. I really want Moon Mist to be reprinted.
Yeah. I'm just excited to play with my wolves again.
Ooh, you should try to make, either a commander or modern deck.
That would be interesting.
Wolf and werewolf, like Mayor of Avabrook, Wandering Wolf, that type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then one last green card I want to talk about.
Okay.
For flavor reasons, is Watcher in the Web.
Okay.
It is a 2/5 for 4 and a green with a reach.
Yeah. It
can block an additional 7 creatures each combat.
Oh.
Because it has 8 legs.
Yep. I have 2 cards I want to talk about. First one is Pack Guardian. Going back to my wolves. It's a 4/3 for 2 generic and a 2 green. It's a wolf spirit with flash. when it enters the battlefield, you may discard a land card. If you do, put a 2/2 green wolf creature token on the battlefield. Now, usually I'm against discarding land, but...
Except the Delirium.
Except for Delirium. The other green card that I want to talk about is...
There are 3 we have not, so...
Yeah, I just need to pull up the actual card. That would be Clip Wings. Why? It's just a, get rid of flying. But...
It's like, hey, that's a pretty nice Avacyn you have over there.
That's a pretty nice Avacyn. That's a pretty nice angel you got there, Oh, wait. Going back to the whole maybe the angels are evil thing, the flavor text on this card is, it's a grim duty to save the world from those created to protect it. Angels are evil.
Yeah. Like, if you watch the trailer for this thing, Jace is talking about, he went to hunt down Avacyn to, get her to help, only to discover that she was evil.
Yeah.
And then jump scare.
Hey,
Hey, let's move on to artifacts.
Hey, let's do that.
Brain in a jar.
Brain in a jar.
Okay, so it casts for 2.
Yeah.
Pay 1 and tap it to put a charge counter on Brain in a jar. You may cast an instant or sorcery spell with converted mana cost equal to the number of charge counters on Brain in a jar from your hand without paying its mana cost. Which is neat. But let's say there's a spell you want to play for free.
Yeah.
You have too many darn charge counters on it. Well, you can pay 3 and tap it to remove X charge counters from Brain in a jar, and then scry X.
Yeah.
I love this thing.
Yeah, this is a ridiculous card.
Yes. Sadly, a lot of these artifacts aren't too good. Explosive Apparatus is just, the Dragon Vial thing.
Yeah.
Magnifying Glass is meh. Shard of Broken Glass is what you would expect a Shard of Broken Glass to be in a fight.
I actually really like Shard of Broken Glass.
Yeah.
I like it because of the discard.
Yeah.
For Delirium, it's awesome.
Yeah, that's neat. But although I don't like it because it's not controlled discard.
Yeah, I can see that.
However, if you've scryed and guaranteed you'll discard the 2 you want to.
Yeah.
But then you have Tamio's Journal.
Yes.
It's a legendary artifact for 5. At the beginning of your upkeep, investigate. Put a colorless clue artifact token onto the battlefield with 2 sacrifices, draw 2 cards.
Yep.
Tap, sacrifice 3 clues. Notably, not just clues this is generated, but any clues your previous cards have generated and left in the field.
Oh yeah, just any clues.
To search your library for a card, and put that card into your hand. Then shuffle your library. Now you may be thinking, for an artifact card, for a planeswalker card? No, just a card.
Any card.
I love this thing.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
If you're running a deck that has enough clues, you just turn 5, play this tutor for whatever.
Oh yeah.
And the land is disappointing.
Yeah, so far, it's meh.
All the dual lands are just enter tapped.
Yeah.
And then Warped Landscape, I don't like very much.
Yeah.
So those are all the spoilers I've gotten so far.
Yeah.
I'm really excited.
Yeah, me too.
We'll bring updates as spoiler season continues.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
So hey, let's talk about something real quick. We have gotten the copyright strike, which is sort of a problem.
So hey, what?
Oh, so hey, we've gotten the copyright strike.
Yes, we have.
Which is sort of a problem. We're currently in the appeals process, but until I put an annotation here and update you guys on Twitter, please do not watch our Arabian Nights or Antiquities video.
Yeah.
Because anything we get from that will go right to a studio.
Yeah.
So I'm in the process of appealing that right now, but that's just a little update to let you guys know. And secondly, guess what starts on Thursday?
What starts on Thursday, Phil?
Our March Madness bracket tournament starts on Thursday. Is what starts on Thursday.
What?
The bracket
On Thursday?
Yes, the bracket is announced today.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be doing a video that goes up tomorrow where we reveal our brackets.
Yep.
And I'm super, super excited because a very local team has gotten the number 1 seed.
Yeah, sweet.
The Oregon Ducks, for the first time ever, have gotten the 1 seed.
And the Beavers are in it as well.
Yeah, higher than I expected, actually.
Mm-hmm.
So Pac-12 representing.
Woo woo.
Oh, and Nick, you'll be happy to know St. Mary's got left out.
I am happy about that.
So we just talked about real cards.
Mm-hmm.
Real cards are nice, but let's talk about some not so real cards.
Mm-hmm.
So, are you familiar with an RNN?
Hmm?
Are you familiar with what an RNN is?
No.
So I forget what the R stands for, but it's a neural network.
Mm-hmm.
So someone has built this, basically this network that will generate random cards based off of keywords and phrases used throughout Magic cards throughout history.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the results are really cool, but some of them are really, really funny.
Mm-hmm.
This is a Twitter account named Roborosewater, and we're just going to talk about it for a second.
Okay.
For example, one of these cards I've generated is Carl.
Nice.
Carl is a star for a red and a white. It can't be blocked by Carl spell counters.
Okay.
Each creature doesn't untap during your upkeep steps or abilities you control. Then shuffle your library. If you do, untap it.
Okay.
For 2 white, and tap, mount 2 for 2 white. Blessing creatures can't be blocked except by creatures have Shroud until end of turn. Return target permanent. You may reveal cards in your graveyard, then put a charge counter on Carl.
Cool.
It's a lot of text for something that dies immediately because it has no indication of what star is.
Yeah. That kind of sucks.
Or, for instance, Clogud of Rarge.
Love it.
It's a 2/2 for blue, black, with flying, and
Cool.
choose controller, shuffle his or her library, then exile it.
Okay.
It's like, okay, shuffle your library, then exile it.
Cool.
Yeah, this thing is a masterpiece. I love this network. Oh, or you'll like this. Slide Shocking Crow.
Okay.
It's a dragon, a 4/2 dragon that casts for 1 blue. Super strong.
Yeah.
It has Trample
Tromple.
and Mountains Block.
Cool.
What do those do? I don't know.
Not sure.
God, these are so ridiculous, and I love them so much. I highly encourage you to subscribe to this guy. You follow this guy on Twitter because they are great. Or Geyser's Auk. It's a 2/2 for 3 and a white. You can sacrifice Geyser's Auk to exile Geyser's Auk.
Oh, cool.
When you absolutely want it gone,
You sacrifice it.
to exile it. Or Mirror, which is a 3 green elemental. Power and toughness, don't even worry about it, there is none. With Defline, it attacks each turn if able, and whenever a creature dies, you may have more spells.
Yay!
Is that like a philosophical thing? Like, you may have more spells, you may not. Oh, also, Demonic to You Cyclone, which is an enchantment for 1 and a white. Enchanted creature gets +2/+2 and has Feel.
Cool.
It's like, oh, now my card has the feels. All of the feels.
I want to talk about one.
Yeah, what's up?
It's actually not a bad card, but I think it's funny. That would be Mardu Adept.
Okay.
It's a blue merfolk.
Wait
a minute.
like the Mardu.
Like Mardu are. It's a 2/1 for 1 and a blue, so it's Piker. And sacrifice a land. Mardu Adept gains flying until end of turn. Put a +1/+1 counter on Mardu Adept. It's not that far-fetched. I just like the fact that it's a blue Merfolk Mardu.
This generates crazy cards that don't work, some cards that really do, some cards that are broken, and then some cards like that are like, they're playable. You have Wearer Amptor, which is a 3/7 for 3 white black black. Pay a green and tap it to destroy all permanents, and each player draws 3 cards. That's insane. It's like, I'll just destroy everything. There's a land that I can't find at the moment, but the only text in the card is, this card enters the battlefield.
Cool.
It doesn't tap for anything. Oh,
nope.
Hey, Nick, you like werewolves, right? So come with me on this journey. There's a card called All Werewolf.
I'm looking at it right now.
It is a 2/4 for 1 blue. It's an elf squirt. No abilities, it's just a 2/4 elf squirt named All Werewolf.
That's notably white and blue.
Yes. What's a squirt, you may ask?
I may ask.
Good question. Or Elvosol Sadik, which is a 2/2 for 1 in the green, with protection from Crim.
Huh. Gotta watch out for that Crim.
Or Akotel Bumrite, which is a 5/5 for 3 and a black. Creature type untap.
Okay.
It has the ability black for 2 and a black. You may cast this card from your graveyard to your hand. So I will put a link to these guys' Twitter in the description, because it is real funny.
Okay. Here's one, Cloudhound. It's a 4/4 for 3 generic and 3 green. It's a beast, notably. Spirit creatures you control get +1/+1. Cool. Other elf creatures you control get +1/+1. Notice Cloudhound is not an elf. So Cloudhound, it's a beast. Other elf creatures you control get +1/+1. Cool.
Okay.
At the beginning of your upkeep, remove a hound counter from Cloudhound. And, for 1 green and tap it, put a hound counter on target permanent you control. Search your library for up to 3 cards with the same name as that card, reveal it, and put it into your hand. Then shuffle your library.
That's just awesome.
Yeah. Plus, if you have other elves other than Cloudhound.
Yeah. Good lord. Oh, or there's Johto of the same Uftine, which is a 3/3 for 3 and a green, with Herp 1. Herp is, you may cast this card from your hand. Which is nice, because that's an ability that every card secretly has, I guess.
Speaking of Garruk.
Okay.
Garruk, Leap in the Carapace.
Okay.
It's a legendary creature, human advisor.
Okay.
For 1 mana, you get to choose one of the following abilities. Remove 2 charge counters from target land, you gain 1 life, or draw a card. And it's a 3/2 for 2 white. As Garruk is white.
Yeah. Or, you like Silumgar, right?
I do like Silumgar.
You know Silumgar, Lord of Hero. Which is 1 green white, green white, like Silumgar is.
Like Silumgar is.
For a 4/3, legendary creature, Treefolk Shaman. Like Silumgar is.
Okay.
With 3 and a white, attacking creatures get +1/+1 until end of turn. So yeah, that works. Yeah, I've seriously spent hours before just looking through this Twitter feed. It's if you're bored, it's something I highly recommend you do. Yes, can I help you?
And Buchian and Greetham.
Yes.
It's an enchantment for 1 red-green. Creatures with flying.
Oh, good.
That's all it said. Creatures with flying. Cool.
Yes, they are. Creatures are with flying. Or, have you ever thought, I really don't want to draw a certain card right now?
Mm-hmm.
Well, then might I recommend Dragonal Weaker,
Okay.
which is an instant for 1 and a white. Search your library for an aura enchantment card with converted mana cost 3 or less, and put that card in the bottom of your library. Draw a card.
Woo!
Notably, also, you don't shuffle your library, so you just see what you're going to draw forever.
I mean, that's kind of cool. One card that I would actually play, Lightning Wind. It's a sorcery for 3 generic and a red. Target creature gains +5/+5 and gains flying until end of turn.
That just, wow.
Yeah. Cool.
So yeah, sometimes this generator makes really, really decent cards.
Silver Form Sliver.
Yes.
It's a 2/2 for 3 generic and a red. Creature, Sliver. All slivers have tap. This land deals 1 damage to target creature or player. Oh no.
Sorry. What? Oh god.
Yep.
Yes?
I'm sorry, one more. Amostal Shrey. It's a creature, elemental shaman. Each opponent may pay 1 generic and a blue. If you do, put X +1/+1 counters on Amostal Shrey. Yep, you heard that. Tap it, target artifact creature, and 2 leaves the battlefield. It deals 3 damage to each creature you control. If you do, return Amostal Shrey to its owner's hand.
I have several questions. We're going to close this little discussion with Pambash Warrior.
Okay.
Which is an enchantment, because it's a warrior,
Mm-hmm.
for 1 and a white. When Pambash Warrior enters the battlefield, put a +1 counter on it, which is useful as an enchantment.
Yeah.
Spells you cast cost.
Cool.
If you would, draw a card.
Nice.
When Pambash Warrior enters the battlefield, it deals 3 damage to target creature you control. Flying. Enchanted creature gets +1/+0 until end of turn, which would be great if it enchanted a creature.
Yeah. Okay, I'm sorry, I have one more.
Okay.
And then we need to end this.
Yes.
Mountain.
Oh, I know Mountain. That seems... I know exactly what it is. Tap for red, right?
Enchantment Aura for 3 generic and 2 blue.
I think we're thinking of a different card here.
I think so. Enchant Land. Enchanted Land has tap. Target creature you control gains protection from black and from red until end of turn. Not bad, but... Mountain. I think that's been used before.
Yeah, just a little bit. I think my favorite things are cards like Mountain and Carl, where they just have weird names.
Carl.
Can you imagine someone actually being, like, a card actually just being named Carl?
That'd be so weird. Like, I tap 8 mana for Carl. No.
That kills people, Carl.
Carl.
Alright, so thank you guys so much for listening.
Yeah, thank you.
We didn't crack a pack today because we have a lot of things to discuss with spoiler season being on right now.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll get back to you next time.